Hello everyone. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the Lupus Live Monday Facebook support chat. This is the new lupus awareness platform, morethanlupus.com, and I am Kelly. I am your facilitator and the creator of More Than Lupus. And if this is your first time joining, just so you know, More Than Lupus was created as a place where those who were just diagnosed or those that have been living with lupus for decades, maybe that's you, can connect and grow and inspire others through the peaks and through the deepest, darkest valleys of their lupus journey. So I am beyond excited to welcome you to check out morethanlupus.com if you haven't. And my greatest hope is that maybe for the first time in your lupus journey, maybe it's brand new, and maybe you're just in the thick of it and you're so stressed out with all these appointments and the question marks and the unending doctor's appointment. Maybe for the first time in decades, maybe that's you. You feel heard, you feel seen, and most importantly, you feel loved because you are so much more than the sum of what is wrong with you right now. I know it feels all-consuming, but you are so much more than the sum of what is wrong with you. You are more than lupus, okay? So welcome. So many of you may know this, but I just returned from Detroit, Michigan, where I was a keynote speaker with Dr. Thomas, who wrote the Lupus Encyclopedia, and Donna Orem, who wrote When Lupus Throws You for a Loop. It was a pleasure and an honor, and that is an understatement, to be there along with such esteemed professionals, to be able to speak about how you can live your best life with lupus. It was such an amazing time. And may I just stop and say that probably the greatest blessing about the trip was being able to meet some of you, some of the amazing lupus sisters and brothers face to face. Seeing my online family in person was definitely the highlight. So I just got back and I'm a little jet lagged, I'm a little tired, and because of that, I am only going to do about a half an hour today. We'll see. But yeah, I'm still kind of getting back into the swing of things with this being 3 hours difference here and taking my medications at weird times, and traveling is really hard on me, so I'm pretty tired. Also, in the next coming week, you will hear me talk about the awareness campaign that Donna Orem so bravely and so powerfully encouraged us to start during her speech on Saturday, which is called the I Talk Out Loud About Lupus campaign. So more on that to come this week and next week, and I'm going to start posting pictures and collaborating with Donna and how we can get the word out about lupus and not be ashamed to tell people that we have lupus. So it's called the I Talk Out Loud About Lupus campaign, and I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm proud to stand next to Donna, who was so motivated. She represented all of us who have ever had to hear, when you tell someone that you have lupus, I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Uh-oh, is it contagious? All of that. So once you've heard that enough times, it almost starts to chip away at your joy, because you realize you're living with this illness that thousands of hundreds of thousands of people have in the United States and millions worldwide, and it's more common than cystic fibrosis and multiple sclerosis and leukemia combined, and yet so few people know about it, and so little research is dedicated to it. So that's why I'm standing strong by my sister, my friend, my lupus warrior, Donna Orem, and her campaign, I Talk Out Loud About Lupus. Now, like I mentioned, due to jet lag and the fact that I have a rheumatology appointment today and I'm taking my mom to the airport today, this is not going to be a full hour chat. However, it is going to be a very, very important one. Because, come on in, I have with me someone extremely special today. Surprise!
What's going on, everyone? Hi, I'm Nick Rosetta.
This is my husband.
I belong to her.
I'm gonna cry already, honey. This is my husband. My husband who works many hours so that I have the opportunity to build this nonprofit, More Than Lupus. And he needs to be acknowledged, and I wanted you guys to see him. And I wanted to also give you a perspective of a loved one, a caregiver, an advocate of someone who has someone in their family, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a spouse, a wife, a husband that has lupus. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a few things that are going on right now with More Than Lupus, and then I'm going to get straight into asking him some questions. I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
All right,
Okay.
Sounds good. I don't know what to expect right now, folks, so please excuse me if I say something inappropriate.
Okay. They all know about you because I talk about you, so they know that, everyone thinks I'm theatrical and animated, but he's really theatrical and animated, so...
I may be a little shy right now because it's my
shy,
first time on this chat, but...
The fact that he's being shy right now just cracks me up so much because he is so outgoing. So, hon, just sit right here, relax,
Okay,
and
sure
then
thing.
I'll pull you in when I'm ready for you, okay?
All right.
So 2 weeks ago, I started something new. I had heard from you all that you really needed something in the evening. And I also heard from a lot of you in our community, and not just here in the Pacific Northwest, but beyond, that you don't have Facebook, or maybe you don't use Facebook that much. So I had this aha moment where I thought, okay, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna do an Instagram Live. Never done it before. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do an Instagram Live, and it's gonna be in the evening. And I chose 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thought it wouldn't be too late. Maybe you just put the kids down, maybe you got home from work, you had dinner, and this will be your time to unwind, to decompress, grab a glass of wine, or maybe a Blue Moon, or maybe a LaCroix, some sparkling water, and just relax. And it's super fun, lighthearted. It's short too, it's only about a half an hour. So I'm not gonna take up your whole evening, particularly if you're doing a Netflix binge and watching something fun. So that is Tuesday, that's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Kelly Rosetta, and that's Kelly with an I, Rosetta with one T, Roseta, at More Than Lupus. Hope to see you there. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is the Party with a Purpose, which is going to be in almost a week. I can't believe that. I'm like, ooh. And that is going to be the launch of my 501c3 portion of More Than Lupus, which is the More Than Lupus Foundation. I'm so excited to have with me Nate Botsford, who, please check him out. Download his music on iTunes. He's incredibly popular here. He's a very popular Portland recording artist, and he was on American Idol, and my husband's gonna be playing with him. They're gonna have some other band members joining. It's gonna be amazing. Food, wine, sweets, dancing, raffle, prizes will be given away, and it is free. So come on down. Love to pack the place. You're going to see pictures. We're going to do a little live video from the event as well for all of you who are not able to be there. So that'll be fun too. And if you're just thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I can't be there. However, I'd really like to support the launch of the More Than Lupus Foundation. Guess what? You can give. First of all, you can share, because the more you care, the more you share, the more other people are aware. So share the event, share the photos, share everything on the More Than Lupus Facebook page. And second of all, you can give. There's a donate button. A donate button. I can tell where my mind is. A donate button on the Facebook page, or you can donate through my website. $5 helps. $5 helps. So you can do a recurring donation every month of $5, or you can do a one-time donation. Everything's going to go towards programs and lupus advocacy and lupus awareness. So thank you for that. Let's see. I just had one more thing to talk about. Oh, actually, I had a couple more things to talk about. I will be at the PIF, which is the Pay It Forward Bazaar here in Portland on Division Street this Saturday. Hope to see you there if you're in town. If you have any questions about that, you can private message me on Facebook. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go straight into the You Are More Than for today and your lupus quote. And then I'm going to get to my incredibly attractive husband who's sitting right here.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Well, I think so. So let's talk about the You Are More Than. Now, this is something, if you're just now joining, by the way, please introduce yourself, say your name, say whether you have lupus or a lupus overlap illness, how long you've had it, and any questions and comments and concerns. And after we talk, Nick and I are going to tag team some questions, so go ahead, start writing. I'll work my way from the top down, all right? But something I've been doing since I started More Than Lupus and the More Than Lupus Lupus Lives is I've been trying to get you to focus on something that may be getting you down, that may be all-consuming right now in your life, that maybe you get up in the morning and you think about it, you go to bed and you think about it, and you feel like your worth has been diminished because of it. And I'm here to remind you that you are more than, whatever that is that's going on in your life. And today, it is, you are more than all of your appointments. I know many of you may have already had an appointment, or like me, are going to go to an appointment today. I have my rheumatology appointment today, and then I got to do my labs today. And some of us, many of us, spend our days going from one doctor to the next, then from one procedure to the next procedure. Then next comes the tests, and the tests are all consuming. And it goes on and on and on and on. And at the end of your day, when you're lying there trying to go to sleep at night, all you feel like you've accomplished and all you feel like you are your lupus appointments, right? Just talking to Robin earlier, going to have her MRI done, gonna go have to have this test, gonna have to have this test, and you start thinking to yourself, is this my life? Is this all that I am? Running around like a crazy person, trying to serve the wolf? Did I say that right? The
Yeah.
wolf? The beast. Trying to tame the beast. The wolf. And we all know what we're talking about. The lupus. So do you feel like that today? Is that where you are today? Because I want to remind you something. You are more than your appointments. That's not who you are. That's not all of you. So please don't believe that lie. Yes, many of you are in a deep valley right now, and you need to take care of your lupus. You need to take care of business. You need to take care of your appointments. Yes, I have to go to my rheumatologist. I have to have labs done every 3 weeks. Yes, it's valid, and you need to take care of it. But I guarantee that is not all that you are, and this is not all that you will ever be. You're so much more than all of your appointments, and you're definitely more than your lupus. So that's the You Are More Than of today. I hope that resonates with you. I feel like many of you are there, and I know I am, running around trying to take care of business. So let's do your lupus quote, and then I'm going to ask my hubby some questions, okay? So here's your lupus quote of the day. It comes from an amazing individual who I admire deeply and who is just a cool person all around, and that's Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey, okay? And she said this: where there is no struggle, there is no strength. Where there is no struggle, there is no strength. So I'm going to go ahead, write that down. I'm going to put it here after we're done. I'm going to remember to tweet it out, hopefully, and I'm going to post it on Instagram. So look for that, and I hope that that inspires you today. All right, so I'm going to have you sit here, hon.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask him some questions. All right?
Wow, talk about the hot seat. What's going on?
For those of you who are just joining, this is my husband.
Hi, I'm Nick.
This is the love of my life. This is the man who has continued to make me laugh, even on my roughest days. And like I said earlier, works so hard so that I can focus on my work in the lupus community and my work with you guys. So
All right.
he's a gift.
Thanks,
And he
honey.
hasn't been able to join because he works. He works so much.
Yeah.
So
And usually during this time when Kelly's doing her live chats, I'm usually with our son Luca, and out at the park playing with him or keeping him away from the house so that there's no screaming or playtimes or
Right.
things shattering. So I'm usually out of the house right around this point in the day, but I'm off on Mondays. And whether you're joining us from afar or from even the West Coast, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, as Jim Carrey once said in The Truman Show. And
One thing you learn about him is that he likes to quote movies.
I do.
So every day he will either quote, usually Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, Goonies, or maybe Wedding Crashers, or Dumb and Dumber, or what's the other one you like to do?
Oh man, Seinfeld.
Oh, well, Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a given.
100%.
Is it better for me to stand here, or do you want me to stand over here?
I'd say you could sit over here.
Okay.
Just so my head's not in the forward position the whole interview.
All right, hon. So, first of all, tell everyone who you are if they're just now joining.
Okay. Well, my name's Nick Rosetta. I'm married to Kelly Rosetta here, formerly Kelly Casas, if you didn't know.
That's right.
Yeah, so Kelly and I met around 2008. We had both come out of some long-term relationships, and we were both actually in the same place in life of knowing who we were, that we wanted to be married, that we wanted to raise a family, and we were really the same place. And I think God put us together at the perfect time because who knows, if we would have met 8 years earlier, maybe we were at a different place and it wouldn't have worked for some reason. But it was amazing how the Lord completely just got us together through friends, and we somehow jived from the moment we met each other.
Right, because our paths could have crossed so many times before.
Oh, we had tons of mutual friends.
We were in the same place at the same time, but it wasn't until this perfect moment in time that we actually met, when we both were ready and
yeah, I think we were
primed. We were being primed.
We were being primed and kind of complete as human beings, but we weren't fully complete until we met each other.
So on our first date, which was totally a hilarious story, and we don't have time to tell it today because it's pretty long. But I did something that I didn't think I was going to do, and that was I told you that I had lupus. I had this whole plan that I wasn't going to tell you because it's not who I am; it's just a part of me. And usually, it's not the first thing that comes out of my mouth is I have lupus, and it was somewhat of a blind date that we were set up on.
Yep.
So I told you that I had gone through this crazy roller coaster ride, and that I had this disease called lupus. Now, when I told you that, had you ever heard of lupus before?
I'd probably heard of lupus through the media. I'd heard of the name via Seinfeld, even jokingly in Seinfeld. Right. But I'd never really studied it or known what it was. When you told me you had lupus, I was just open to hear what it was about. I didn't know how serious it was. But I was not turned off by that because I just didn't have enough knowledge base to really have any fears just yet.
In your mind, did you think, oh, she doesn't look sick, so she must be okay?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, our first date, she looked beautiful. She came up and had only seen a few pictures on Facebook or MySpace of her back in the day. And I remember thinking, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. And I really like her personality through the emails that we'd shared. And when I saw her and talked to her that entire night,
you were mesmerized.
I was mesmerized. I thought she's not only a pretty girl, but she's just so smart and so well spoken and articulate and mature, and it just seemed like someone I wanted to get to know more because she was very captivating.
Well, thank you. So let's talk about, we got married, and you've seen me on my worst days. And in fact, for those of you who think I don't ever have a bad mood or times where I'm upset or frustrated or irritable, he gets to see that. He's my safe person, where I get to show him when I am struggling the most. And he's seen me in the hospital and in the emergency rooms, and he's seen me at my wit's end, and he's seen me when I'm afraid. And with all that said, hon, what do you think is the most challenging thing as being someone that's a caregiver or an advocate or a support person to a loved one with someone that has lupus?
For me personally, I'll scoot up a little bit. For me personally, I think as a as a male, and as speaking for the male race, we we tend to be a little bit selfish, and I still struggle with that to this day of thinking about my own agenda, where I want to be, what I want to do. There are many times where we have something as simple as like a dinner plan together, and we can't go on the date, or we're going to meet my parents to go wine tasting, and I've been looking forward to it all day after a hard day's work, and come to find out, Kelly has a migraine, or her neck and the trouble she's had with her Chiari malformation and arthritis in her neck, and a pinched nerve where she's debilitated and can't even move, or has the lights off and a wrap around her head and neck, or just simply doesn't feel good, feels flu-like symptoms. I have to put my selfishness aside a lot of times just to say, that's okay, we'll stay home. I'll go grab some pizza, bring it home, and try to make it through the night. And I wish I was less selfish, but I know that having my wife with lupus has taught me to be a little more selfless. And through the thick and thin of life, I think the hardest times and trials that you have in life are the ones that are going to shape you and make you who you are. I'm going to circle back to that a little bit towards the end of my interview here.
Now, what was I going to ask you? I just was spurred to a question. Oh, as someone that lives with someone, or maybe it's a new relationship that someone is starting, maybe a person with lupus is starting to date again. What would be your advice as someone from the outside to tell the person who is starting a new relationship, or maybe they're struggling in their marriage, communicating their lupus to their loved one? What would be your advice?
And this is for someone who's been with another person who's
right.
recently diagnosed?
Yeah.
I would say my advice would be, get ready for change. You have to, again, put your own agenda aside to support that individual. And that's not different for anyone who's just struggling with lupus. I mean, if I was diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, God forbid, I know that Kelly would have to support me in that, and anything can happen to anyone at any point in life. So none of us are immune from illness, but I think a lifelong illness like lupus is a bit challenging because it does affect you every day, and although you can live a full life with it, and sometimes a shorter life with it, the individual who's entered into that relationship and then things shift, it's through thick and thin with marriage. It's a little bit different when you're dating. There's, sad to say, but there's an out, and one could walk away from that, but I look at marriage as a covenant between two people in front of God, and in sickness and in health, we're here to support each other. And it's just not fair to run away from your problems.
And I think, I don't want to speak for you, but I know honesty is probably one of the number one things that I would say, because we think that our spouses, we think our significant others are mind readers. We think that they just know, that can anticipate how we're feeling and how we're thinking and what's happening on our body, because we're feeling it and we're living it as people who are living with lupus. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. Yeah, he can tell through my nonverbal communications if I'm my deal is that I withdraw. I close up, because that's my survival mechanism of living with this illness for so many years. So he can tell, you're being quiet, what's going on? Did I upset you? What's happening? And then I'll have to say, I'm not feeling well. But I know he has said time and time again, and I want to encourage you to do this with your spouse, with your significant other, with a loved one, with a best friend, whatever your closest relationship is, to be honest. I will have to say,
be open,
be honest,
communicate.
And communicate. Say, okay, honesty zone right now. I know that we're supposed to go to this party right now, but I have such a raging headache and I'm really struggling. And then that way he knows, or she knows, or whoever it is in your life knows. Or, we've got this family vacation, but I've got this test happening, and I am waiting to hear if I've got to start on chemotherapy, and I'm really stressed out right now. just want you to know that. So instead of keeping it all into yourself and feeling like you have to shield people in your life, they want to be there for you. They want to. And they can't help you unless they know what's going on. And don't assume that they're mind readers. Sorry, I'm going to tell you that.
In my personal, we talk about our love languages a lot because Kelly and I are very different in that regard.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm showing and showering her with love when I come home and give her a hug and snuggle with her, or give her a kiss. And her love language is, words of affirmation and acts of service. And so oftentimes I just miss the mark and don't realize that what I'm doing is maybe beneficial to me, but not to her. And when she's not feeling well, like she says, she tends to withdraw. Whereas I'm a little bit more vocal about how I'm feeling at any moment in the day. I don't hide anything, and I'm a very open person in general. I'll bare my soul to a stranger.
It's true. I call him Captain TMI, which means too much information.
I am. Whereas with Kelly, she's a little bit more private, so the fact that she even does these chats and has opened herself up to the public across the world, to her personal struggles, I feel is a huge level of maturity that she's reached in her life. Because when I met her and we were dating, and even when we got married, she wanted to keep a lot of this stuff a little bit buried. And if I even brought up the fact that she had lupus, she would say, "Why did you even need to say that? Can I just go through one night without having to rehash or think about my past or my present condition?"
Right.
So I'm very proud of her that she's taken on this position and really help advocate for lupus and just be there for people who struggle.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a very private person. So this is, believe it or not, really out of my comfort zone to be this open with everyone and to talk about lupus this much. So what would you ask, or what advice would you give to those that have lupus, that are in a relationship, to how can we be there for you as the caregivers, as the advocates, as the loved ones? How can we help? And how can we support you?
For those that don't have it, I think it just all goes back again to communication. When you feel lousy and you tell me you feel lousy, if I was in the same position and I got struck with the flu, I wouldn't want to go out. I wouldn't want to go spend a bunch of time with people because I feel like death warmed over. And so just being vocal about how you feel, just like what we were talking about a few minutes ago, and open, honest communication, which I think you and I are getting better at. That's the main thing, just communication. Yeah.
Cool. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is simply losing you.
Oh,
and also not having a mother for our son. That would be my absolute number one biggest fear regarding our journey with lupus. But I know that, and we talk about this all the time, that anything could happen to anyone at any given time.
There are no guarantees.
You could walk out the door and get hit by a car. So I try not to think about that all the time and just recognize that you got to walk, take each day with what it brings you, and just stay faithful and love others and pretend like every day is your last.
Right. Well, let's see who's here today and who's writing in. Oh, we have Jess here. Hi, Jess. Let's see.
What's up, Jess?
Let's see who else is here. We got Genesis here and Donna. We've got Kathy and Maureen. Oh, Maureen's the one that we surprised at her house.
Well, maybe next time I'll be able to join Kelly. Maureen, thank you so much for all that you've done for us. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, she's been such an amazing support in many different ways. She says, "Good morning, Kelly, and all the Lupus Warriors. Hope everyone was able to watch all the live videos from the symposium." Got Amy here. Orlando's watching too. We've got Lori, and Lori says, good morning, happy to catch this injections today, and I'm a little bit nervous. Sometimes you hit it twice. There you go. Just like it and it will.
Just like it. All right, there we go.
Now you should be able to. Oh, maybe not.
Boy.
There we go, and a little nervous.
Oh, it was just an emoji. See more.
So we are with you. You know, Benlysta, for those of you who don't know, Benlysta was the first FDA-approved lupus drug in over 50 years. It's a biologic. It targets certain subsets of white blood cells, and it's given by infusion, and it's also now available with a self-injector pen. Many people have found relief from it, and just talking to Dr. Thomas on Saturday, he was encouraging me to badger my insurance company because I was not approved. My insurance did not approve it, to try it again because it's so much safer than a lot of the other drugs that we are currently on that are considered off-label. So anyway, it is a really great drug. There's very few side effects, and it's considered a steroid-sparing drug. So it helps you get off steroids, and you also can use it in conjunction with steroids. So I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well, and keep us updated on how you're doing. Alrighty? Donna says it was one of the best hugs we ever had. Oh, Donna, it was the best thing in the world meeting you in person. Loved your speech, Kelly and Donna. Thank you, Robin, for the video. Got Meg watching. And, yeah, scroll up, hon. Let's see here. We've got Dinah. Hi, Dinah. Thank you for doing the live while in Detroit. Best wishes, Lori. Let us know how everything goes, says Jess. Absolutely. Mary Jo was there at the symposium as well. It was so great to meet you in person as well. It really, truly was. There we go. Or Dr. Thomas, and of course, to see Robin again. The drive was so worth it. It was a pleasure and honor to meet you as well. Let's see here. Dinah, was just saying that there's not enough awareness for lupus. What? Hey, hubby. Okay, so now we're getting to you walking in. This is great. Hi, Nick. Everyone's saying, hi, Nick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all.
What a nice surprise. Nice to meet you. Hello, Nick. Kelly's adorable. Hubba hubba.
I guess I am a hubby. Hubba hubba.
Thank you for sharing Kelly with us, Nick.
Absolutely.
Aww. Meg says, be afraid. Be very afraid. Amy says she saw a new rheumatologist on Thursday. Lots of blood work. Fingers crossed. Good answers. Yes. We've got Elizabeth here for Caring for Lupus. Oh, that's amazing. Lori says, love this. And Kathy says, good morning, Nick. Orlando says, hey, Nick, a real lupus champ.
What's up, Orlando?
Amy says, welcome, Nick. Cutie. Cute couple. Genesis is here.
What's up, Genesis?
Read what she wrote.
With the cologne, that smells really good. I did put some of that on this morning. Thank you.
Oh, 8 p.m. is perfect. Good luck, Amy. Good luck, Nick. What instrument do you play?
Oh, Orlando, I play the drums. I've been playing since I was 11 years old. I don't know how many years that is so far, but yeah, I'm 35 now, and absolutely love it. Kelly's put up with years and years of me saying I want my own little music studio space, and we finally have gotten to that point where we have a space in our house where I can bang away, and it's sound treated, and got guitars and a piano, a couple drum sets in there, and it's really good times. Love playing.
Oh yeah. So Genesis is saying, I felt like Nick, it's odd that Nick hasn't been on here. He's really important to this and to Kelly. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Genesis.
Because of his work schedule and because he cares for our son too when I'm doing the chats, so I'm able to do it uninterrupted without being asked for snacks and to play with and things like that while I'm doing the chats. Robin's here. Yay, you made it. I love it. Why don't you scroll down just a little bit and let's get to some questions for you specifically. Nick, here's Genesis. How How did you feel for Kelly's first major hospital stay that you saw? How did you react?
First.
Well, probably for surgeries. Huh.
Yeah.
Because I had the two knee surgeries.
Or the two knee surgeries.
Yeah, I had a kidney procedure. I've had the two knee surgeries too.
Yeah, the two knee surgeries were probably the bigger ones. Mm-hmm. I remember when we were dating, she had to have, she had some stomach issues where they had to do the
endoscopy and all of that.
Yeah, go down and go up, to see what's going on in her stomach. But that was pretty much like a drop off. I don't really remember being there for very long. We were just dating at that time. But the biggest ones were definitely her knee surgery, where she did her left knee, her right knee, and had to do them at different times. And we lived in a 3-story condominium here in Portland. It was the Beaverton area, and I remember the first couple days, I kept seeing her scooch up the stairs just one by one on her tush, and thought to myself, that's not right. So I started, lifting her up and carrying her up the staircase. And I think when we went up one set of stairs and next another, so 4 sets of stairs to get to our bedroom. The first time I had done it, I'm not in the best of shape, and I remember huffing and puffing, and she said, "Am I really that heavy? Is it really that difficult?" No, I was just really out of shape. But by the second knee surgery, I was a champ and in better shape, and it was much easier. So that was an interesting experience, given how many stairs we had in that home.
Also, I think one of the hardest times that he saw me was toward the end of my pregnancy, when I had a failed induction because they induced me early due to high blood pressure. Pregnancy-induced high blood pressure, which is called preeclampsia. And so that was pretty rough in the end there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking. I knew how strong she was, and I knew that she was going to make it through it. But, both Patty, my mother-in-law, her mom, who you guys you should have already met, at least most of you, in a previous chat. Her and I were there in the room. My mom and dad, or my mom at least, was coming by every so often to check in. But man, they kept saying, all right, we should think about a C-section. And I think your mom, Patty, was saying, I wanted you to do a C-section like 24 hours ago. What's up with you Oregon hippies? So we were forced to do a C-section with her failed induction.
Right.
That was fairly intense, but I think most husbands and wives who've had kids, it's not always perfect or roses whenever you go to have children.
Genesis is asking you a follow-up question.
Okay.
Nick, do you buy her favorite snacks?
Well, she does most of the shopping. I only pick up stuff when she asks me to. It's just kind of how we've arranged things in this marriage, but I do usually stop by the store on my way home if she needs some things for dinner preparations, and one of her favorite snacks would be See's candies.
Yeah, and although I've switched to sugar-free candy now.
Yeah, so I think she really misses the C's, but those are her absolute favorite.
I do.
All right, what else you got there?
Let's see here. A lot of people are writing back and forth to each other. Beautiful couple. Dinah says she usually quotes Jim Carrey.
He's so lovable.
Amy's saying, how many years have we been together?
So it's been 7.5 years, almost 8. We're coming up in just a couple months.
Yeah, October it will be 8 years married.
Married, yeah.
10 years together.
Yeah.
Mara says, Luca has to be gorgeous with 2 cute parents. You 3 are blessed with great looks.
Aww. Luca is the cutest of us all. Man, he's a really cute little dude.
He is.
Sometimes can't handle it.
I know. Let's see. Maureen says, Nick, what a sweet, sweet story of how you fell in love. It was meant to be. Meant to be. Oh, I love that. Yes, it was. Yeah, Seinfeld. Jessica says, yes, you were like my boyfriend, mesmerized on the first date. You're so hilarious.
Yeah.
What does Mara say there?
Nick, I love Seinfeld. I think I've seen all the episodes, especially the Is it lupus? Oh, that's our
joke.
Our total absolute favorite.
Right.
Yeah, that one is classic, and that's probably the first time I remember thinking, "What the heck is lupus?" But it just was so funny the way that George actually presented that joke.
Yeah. Oh, my Aunt Sherry's watching.
What's up, Sherry?
Oh, Mom's watching
Hope
too.
You're feeling
downstairs.
better.
Hi, Nick and Kelly. Love to you too.
Love to you too, Sherry.
Jennifer says, love that you involve your family members in your chats. Real life situations and support. Absolutely.
It is true.
Because, you guys, we've been through it all. We've been through a ton together. And he's seen a ton of what I've had to go through together. And the medication mishaps. You've seen me have hallucinations because my medications interacted. And when I was on a blood pressure medication and interacted with something else. And there
were spiders on the ceiling, just for all to know. She was freaking out, woke me up out of my sleep and said, there's something's not right. There's tarantulas on the ceiling crawling around. I know this can't be real. What's happening to me?
So he's seen me, he's seen me get really sick from medications. He's seen me in my really good times where I was able to do a lot and go on vacations and feel great. And then he's also seen me at my lowest of my low too. So this is real life.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever perfect.
Carissa Bennett, shout out. How you doing?
Hi, Carissa.
Good to see you. CB.
Let's see who else. What does Jess say?
I'm fortunate to have a boyfriend, basically my spouse, who is so adaptable and thoughtful. Let's see if I can like this and see more. It doesn't let me do that. There we go. He knows when I need chocolate. This is important.
It's very important.
So that is a plus.
Yes.
Yeah, Jess. Chocolate is the lifeline for us too.
Chocolate forgives a multitude of sins.
It does.
Amy says, it is so important to communicate sometimes. I've had a bad habit of when I'm sick and nervous not to talk about it. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. You met my amazing support team, my daughter, mom. I did on Saturday. What a wonderful group you are. So strong. Let's see. Kathy says, Nick, thanks for being you and supporting Kelly so she can be a support to us.
Absolutely,
We've got
Kathy.
Scarlett here. Love you too, Scarlett.
Gross. Hi.
Thanks for joining.
Sorry we missed you when you were in Portland.
Right.
Sadly, I had to work. Not fun.
Oh my gosh.
No, I love my job.
We've got Catherine here. I met her on Saturday. Hi, Kelly. So nice to meet and chat with you at the symposium on Saturday. Nick, how do you deal? Here we go. Hold on. How do you deal? Where are we?
With the frustration.
Okay, you want to read it?
Yeah, how do you deal with the frustration of having to pick up the slack when Kelly's having some bad days? We have a 2-year-old and my husband, although he tries, or he seems to get frustrated with the extra work he has to do sometimes around the house and with my daughter since he also works full time. Oh yeah.
We're all human.
And I get frustrated too. I have major meltdowns and I've had some ugly moments and Kelly has seen them too. So I am nowhere near perfect. We all have our dark side. It's true. Like we joke about, both in jest and seriously talk about how when we got married, you know, Kelly saw some things from me that she didn't expect. And, you know, whether it was temper flare-ups or just being nitpicky, I'm so OCD about certain stuff. Why isn't there a coaster on that table? And, you know, just so I can be a real pain in the rear sometimes to my wife. So I guess to say to you, Catherine, that I'm not perfect and I definitely have my issues and I'm in continual growth mode of trying to figure out how I can be a better support to Kelly, to our son, and to know that in this life, you know, the struggles are temporary and there is hope at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so happy to see you here and that you found me online because I just felt such a connection with you, to be honest. We're both in the same place of life. You have a 3-year-old, I have a 4-year-old. And I know the struggle is real, and you are in the thick of it. And we talked a lot about on Saturday how hard it is feeling like you have to keep up with what everyone else is doing. And you see these moms and these families who are going on all these 10,000 vacations and these perfect photos, and they're taking their kids to which place every day. We're going to go here, then we're going to go here, and then we're going to go here, and we're going to go here. And you're like, can I just get through the day? Mm-hmm. But just know, and we talk about all this all the time as a family with our son, that all that matters at the end of the day is that you love each other.
Yeah.
And that you show that love to each other so that your son or your daughter or whoever can see it. It's really all that matters. Stay strong, and I can't wait to have you hear more and for us to get to know each other more. And check out the website too, because there's some blogs for you there that I think will be really helpful for you. Let's see. Do you want to just do another 5 more minutes? We've almost gone.
Sure.
I thought we were only going to do a half an hour, and it's been 50 minutes.
Has it really?
Yeah. See,
oh
I told you these go by fast.
Seriously,
really
wow. I'm going to keep scrolling here, Kelly.
We've got the Mata sisters here. Estella, so happy to see you here.
What's up, Estella? Oh, that's cool, Orlando. We're the same age. Let's see. I want to know what you play. So, Yamaha Stage Custom in the basement. Excellent. Hope to have a jam session someday. I also play Latin percussion instruments. Well, then we definitely have to jam. I'm not sure where you live, Orlando, but if you're ever in Portland, make sure to hit us up. And come on over and we'll jam out. I've got 2 kits, got some percussion. We can make it happen.
Estella says, my sister's been trying to get Ben listed too. Maybe this year you both will get approved. Yeah. Yep, it's a new drug, so it's harder for certain insurance companies to approve, and it takes some time.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Carol Rosetta. Good to see you. Love you, Mom.
Awesome.
Chocolate is important during prednisone tapers. Amen, Jess.
Chocolate's important.
Just
in life.
In life.
Life taper.
I must have eaten about 600 calories worth of chocolate last night at 9 o'clock at night. It's so bad.
Well, I think the other thing too that's important is to make each other laugh.
To
not sweat the small stuff. Remember, that was one thing we always focused on in the beginning of our marriage, is to not sweat the small stuff. And to make each other laugh. We are both zany, kind of quirky people. And I think he's probably the funniest guy I've ever met. And he makes me laugh. And that was probably the thing that attracted me most to him. Sorry, not your good looks, but your sense of humor. Because he would say things, and I go, that is so funny. And I love wit. I love wit. I love making people laugh. I love having something tickle my funny bone too. And he can get me to the point where I cannot stop laughing. And yeah.
Except the times when you say, when you try to be funny, you're not. When you just exist and just be you, it's really entertaining. So I wasn't meant to be a comedian, I guess.
When you try to be funny, you're not. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Nick, have Kelly do your eyebrows.
What? Oh, Genesis has this thing about eyebrows. She's always commenting on my eyebrows.
Oh man. I had my best friend, who I won't name names, Jeff Jansen. He once had his eyebrows done back in like college, and he said he had the most perfect eyebrows, and then he ended up having them waxed or shaped, and they never grew back to be the same. So I don't know if I'm going to touch my eyebrows, but thanks, Genesis.
Totally agree. Laughter is the best medicine. And I'm not sure why, but Tamara's not getting any sound. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you here. Your mom says hey. And yeah, so I think, you guys, we got to get ready to take my mom to the airport. I have a rheumatology appointment. I've got labs to do today. Got a lot of catch up to do. And we're going to spend some extra family time together since I've been away. So I think with that being said, sorry, honey.
And if I may interrupt.
Sure.
I want to get back to that Oprah Winfrey quote that you had brought up because I have something to add to that.
Sure.
Can you read that one more time for everyone who
it says...
tuned in? Sorry, home phone, real problems here.
Our phone doesn't ring all day, but then it will ring only when we're doing the live chats. I mean, come on. Anyway, it says this: where there is no struggle, there is no strength.
So I was in the car a couple days ago, and there was a song that came on the radio, and although we are a Christian family, I don't necessarily always listen to just Christian music, but I love all different styles of music. But there was one song that came up that
I know this song.
Absolutely penetrated me. And I was thinking of a friend at work, actually, who's been going through a really difficult time. And sorry, phone, we had a little interruption there.
Phone's a ringing.
I'll spare you from my vocal performance, but I'll just read the words and just listen to these because it really ties into that Oprah Winfrey quote. We pray for blessings, we pray for peace, comfort for family, and protection while we sleep. We pray for healing and for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering. And all the while, you hear each spoken need. Yet love is way too much to give us lesser things. Because what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? And what if the trials of this life are your mercies in disguise? So my challenge to you today as a God-fearing man is to take your challenges and the things that you're scared of, and we all pray for those things, for basically help me through this dark time. I'm struggling here, but oftentimes the things we learn from the most are the things that are most challenging to us. And that song darn near brought me to tears when I was listening to it the other day. In case you guys want to hear what that song is, or actually hear the performance, the song's called Blessings, and it's by artist Laura Story. So thank you, Laura Story. That was a very amazing song, and I'm usually just like straight up rock and roll guy, but that brought me to my knees in my car as I was driving, and just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here. Love you.
Love you too.
And I appreciate your absolutely essential role in my life and in our family's life. And I thank God for you. And I know that it's not easy. And I know that you're often behind the scenes doing and working and providing for us. And so you don't get the credit that you deserve. And I want everyone on here to know that I am who I am. And I'm able to do what I'm able to do through God's strength. Right, the world is texting me right now. Through God's strength and through this man's love. So, thank you guys. I'll be back with you on Wednesday. Hopefully I'll be on the go. Hopefully I'll have another amazing person to introduce you to. And I just want to say, if you feel like today you're really struggling, just tie a knot and hang on, because you've got this. You've got this. And you're so much more than whatever's going on in your life right now. And you're very much more. Very, very, very much more than lupus. All right? Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Bob.
Bye.